Hello and welcome back, CNG 125. Uh, we are starting work 13 this week. Good to see that we have a few people over the week still visiting, but a higher number on Sunday. Make sure you're visiting this class. Um, what I'm guess I'm trying to say is make sure you finish the class strong, um, and give yourself that grade you deserve. Really, going to school is difficult. Takes a lot of time. Takes concentration, and give yourself, that grade that you deserve. This week, week 12, week 13. Why isn't it showing there? Huh. Um, week 13. What we're gonna do this week is take what we did last week, and it's okay if you use it as a template. Use that network map. Um, but this week, you're going to evolve that scenario into a small office, home office network. How can I improve um, your small office, home office network? You know, what is the business? That's the first question. Um, are you an IT company working out of your house? That's exactly what I do. Um, how can I make my network better? Well, I was using QuickBooks. I had a backup of all my stuff on my network, but it wasn't mapped all the time, and that was for security reasons. I left it unmapped only when I needed to do backups within it, and then I just mapped to it. Actually, I wouldn't even map to it. I just type in the IP, get into it, access my files, start QuickBooks, which is actually loaded on that hard drive, um, and then do all my business on that hard drive. And then when I was done, simply close out of it, and then in my devices it was never shown, just in case that my my personal desktop, I guess, not my work computer, my personal desktop caught a virus or somehow was hacked, my business would not be affected. Um, Hopefully not affected. I can always access that hard drive from my laptop or something else. And I guess that was my problem is I had to have backups. I had to have accountability coming in of where the money was going. So that was my problem, and that was my solution too, was saying, okay, what parts of the network do not meet my business needs? Well, um, I had to have storage that was not on my computer to make it safe. Um, is there enough bandwidth? Yeah, it was internal, so there was enough bandwidth. Do QoS protocols need to be in place? Not so much since I was using internal. How can the network support the business more? Well, that's why I needed the backup on a basically, I believe it's a Western Digital book. Yeah. Um, what are you going to focus on? It was mostly hardware. It was some location and maybe just a little bit of software. So priority was mostly hardware, location, and then software. My project estimated time to finish. I tell you what, it was relatively easy to buy the hardware. I went down to Office Max, I believe, and picked it up for under $100, and it was like, or it is, 2 terabytes. Topology, I had to buy. Oh, I had to buy or use a Netgear switch that I had laying around the house, so I had to throw that into my topology, and then put my, um, I guess my network storage, NAS, my network attached storage onto that switch. So it did change my topology internally a little bit. Was there a budget? Um, I guess there could have been. I definitely didn't want to go spend like $1,000 or $500. So I had to say, okay, well, what's out there? I did a little research on that and see what would work. Um, Definitely look at appliances. didn't have to look at tools so much. I definitely had to look at cables or make cables. And then it has its own software that helped find it, which I did not use because I just started accessing it through IP, internal IP, and made sure that the external cloud access was definitely off. Once again, another security step. Um, Rolling back to 132 if you took it with me. Presentation, make sure you present your solution. Once again, 5 to 10 slides. If you do a slide on each one of the blue headings, you should have plenty of stuff to talk about. And is this a template that can be reused? Say it's a starting. Can it be a starting point for another small business here in? I believe most of you guys are in Colorado. In Colorado, can this be used for a small business in Colorado? Once we get the economy starts to flow again, boom again. Basically, once the economy gets going, businesses are going to start to um, grow. Maybe some will definitely um, need help in making sure their network are secure. Um, so definitely, keep this as a solution template. Um, was the project a success? Was there something you missed? In my case, it was a success. It definitely worked. Um, is there something you missed? I don't think so. I think 2 terabytes may have been way too much just for running QuickBooks on it. I think like 500 would probably done just as well. Probably could have saved just a little bit of money there, but not a huge concern for me. So this week, take a look at the case study. How can you improve your Soho network? Look at the business. Look at define the charter, define the problem. Um, and when Soho business, it's usually two to five people working out of a house. I mean, in some cases, is the internal network even capable of having 5 computers, 5 phones running? Is the printer able to fax and scan? A lot of different things you can focus in on, especially in this case study, that you can say, okay, you know what? This is an area of improvement that needs to be done. The business sends out, I know, I have a friend that does medical billing from her house, so she has to have fax and scan and a paper shredder. Um, she has to have that in her house in order to do her job, and she's audited for that. So definitely a lot of different ways you can go with this. If you need help coming up with a small business, let me know. If you need me to expand upon something else, let me know. And I think we're off to a good start. Oh, I did have the submission Dropbox in the wrong place. I did just notice that. So week 12's Dropbox is now in the correct area. So if you have week 12 project 1, it is now in the correct area. I forgot I flipped those and it was in week 13. So this one right in the right area too. Enjoy it, mess around with it. Definitely give yourself some time to research. Maybe just do a quick Google search and say what are some network problems for small office home offices. Another problem I ran into was a home office in, man, it was north of Timnath. They didn't have enough bandwidth through their telephone line, their POT line, to support internet, which hosted their phone, which hosted their computers. So basically, we had to find them and this was a 3G solution, find them a way to access the internet using 3G from a modem that was sitting right by their window, and it gave them enough internet just to run their business from their house. Pretty wild solution. 2 computers, a printer, And of course, once they got internet, of course their phones went on it, their personal laptops went on it, which kind of created a problem because it really wasn't designed for that. It was just designed for that small office, home office type scenario. Anyways, use parts of your old project that transfer over to this one, and get a good start there. It should be more research into problems um, time for this week, and make sure that you have a plan. We're entering only about, let's see, yeah, we have 3 weeks left plus a little bit more. Make sure you have a plan to exit the course. We'll just keep hammering out different kind of projects at this point, uh, just so make sure you have an overall knowledge. Oh, perhaps you throw Wi-Fi in there. That was a good idea. A knowledge of networks, since this will be your last networking course. Um, I did see a couple tools in SANS, a couple courses. Feel free to look at those. It's always good to stay in training. Perhaps you sign up for OWASP as a member. Um, Perhaps you take see what courses they're offering over the summer. Uh, Stay in contact with a lot of stuff, because it'll help you develop as you move on in education. Of course, get those certifications. I did see, what was it, AWS, Azure, Google. They're giving a lot of free certifications at this point for taking pretty much on-demand classes. So feel free to jump in those too, and get certified. At least your entry-level certifications in those courses. Get that step up for when people start to hire again. You're one of the first resumes they actually look at and save. With that, guys, have a great start of the week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.